animal movie by now has done over 800 crore plus globally at the box office. It has broken all the records for an adult rated film. And such a box office number represents that the film was accepted by the audience. Now on social media, it's definitely very polarizing. There's just two extremes. At one, there's total appreciation for the boldness the film depicts, how refreshing it is, how different it is, how unorthodox the film is. People have not seen something like this in Indian cinema. And of course, Ranbir's performance. And on the other side, there are criticisms for different reasons. The film is too violent and dark, the story is so bad, makes no sense, or the film is just too problematic. The truth is, there is something in the film because it is resonating with the audiences. That's why they're going to watch it and going again. Because then only you get a number like this, 800 crores. So why is it working? Let's break it down and analyze the success and see what will be its impact on Indian cinema as a whole. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and you can check out my review for my objective view of the film. There I've talked about the filmmaking aspects, what works in the film, what doesn't, and the problematic nature. But in this video, I want to talk about the reception of the film. What did Sandeep Reddy Vanga did that led to all of that's happening right now? See, first thing, whatever you think about the film, you loved it or hated it, you have every right to express it. No one can take away that from you. If you think the film is great, it works for you, talk about it. Share why it works for you. And if you think the film is problematic, is misogynist, talk about it. Share your thoughts. Why do you feel that? Because at the end of the day, that's the point of a discussion. But the problem today with film discourse is that no one wants to have a debate. Everyone just wants to argue. What they think about the film is the only right way to think, and everyone should think like that. That's not how it works. Share your thoughts, whatever it is, but don't dismiss anything. If you love the film, but there are people saying it's a really bad film, go and find out why they are saying that. Maybe you missed something. And if you're someone who didn't like the film at all, and if you're asking for a ban or censoring of the film, then I'm sorry, that's a wrong thing. I think Manoj Bajpayee beautifully put it. The moment you try to censor something that you don't agree with, next time someone will try to censor what you like but they don't agree with. It's a never-ending cycle and we don't want to get into that. Censoring art is never the answer. I've noticed on social media that many people who are complaining about the film, just from their text, I can tell they have not even seen it. They have heard other people talk about it, express their thoughts, or they saw the reels that people have been making in the theaters. That's how they have consumed the film without any context and have made up their mind. And it's just copy and paste. At that point, how can you have any nuanced discussion? And that's the point. If you're a cinephile, you love cinema, then you should be open to every kind of cinema. If there a film exists and you don't agree with it, and because of that you want that film to not exist, that means you're not a cinephile but an agenda file. And there's nothing wrong in that. You believe in something, you want everything around to depict that only. Okay, you believe in that. But the moment you force it upon others, that's where the problem lies. And it goes both ways. People who love the film should not impose on other people that it's a great film, don't say anything wrong about it. I feel to grow as a person, you should always be open to different views, especially the views opposite to you. So you understand the other side also. And that will actually open up you to some interesting theories about the film, which we'll discuss later in the video. See, if you like it or not, the film has become a part of the pop culture. That's a goal that every film wants to get. The songs from the film. It's everywhere. Or Arjun Velli. All the memes surrounding the film. And you know, when a film becomes such a big phenomenon that everyone is talking about it, if you try to suppress it, it will blow out of proportions. So instead of that, use this as an opportunity to educate people. That's what happened to me. You know, when I watched Arjun Reddy, maybe I was 2021, I wasn't that mature. I saw it. I liked the film. I saw this character is very flawed. He does wrong things. And it's a great film. But when Kabir Singh came out and then the whole discourse happened, I found out what is wrong with the film. There's no denying it's a flawed character, but he is the protagonist of the film. We are following his narrative. There's nothing wrong in that. But there are certain things which are normalizing wrong behavior. And that helped me. I understood what was wrong, which I couldn't see from my naked eyes. So if you're finding problems with the film, talk about it. Share what is the problem. Just don't slam it, give it different labels, slam the director, and you're done with it. That's not the right thing. And Anurag Kashyap made a good point. When such films come out, it leads to discussion among people. Many times we think some things are, self-understood. Everyone knows. You don't have to point out every time. But when such films come out and you actually see a lot of people are not actually getting it. They feel it's normal, it's okay. What was wrong? Then you realize it's actually not obvious. It's not self-understood. And this film is giving you an opportunity to explain why it's not okay. Maybe before Kabir Singh, a couple was in a toxic relationship, but they didn't know they were in a toxic relationship. They thought it's, normal. But after watching the movie and all the discourse happened, someone must have realized, actually, this is not okay. So that's what cinema can do. It's on you how you want to take it. Sandeep Reddy Vanga, you cannot deny he's a talented guy. He understands the craft of filmmaking. He is not faking it. You cannot. You can tell when you see something that it's done passionately. And he is doing something that the audience connects with his stories, his films. He finds that pulse which makes the viewer so engaged with his films. And there was this old video of Amir Khan being circulated where he talks about how a lesser director will use sex and violence in his films to sell it because he's incapable of telling a good story. And I agree with that statement, but it doesn't apply to Sandeep Reddy Vanga because he is not that guy. If you think Animal is a big hit just because of the sex and the violence, I'm sorry. Remove those parts and the film will still work with many. It's the way these things are combined with the narrative that's working for people. Then there's a talk about social responsibility of a filmmaker, that what they are showing the audience. The audience is impressionable. They'll take the wrong things from it. The filmmaker should understand. But I always think, why put all this responsibility on the one guy telling his story? Why shouldn't the onus be on us, the viewers? Why cannot we be better? That we understand that we are watching just a movie. That we should know what is right and wrong. Because that's the only way we progress as a society. If someone is watching Animal, looking at Ranveer's character and is like influenced by him and he also wants to be that guy, then we as a society has failed that person. And the film was never marketed as, this is a film everyone should follow, the youth should watch, you should follow him, he's an inspiration. No, it is an adult-rated movie. It's 18 plus first of all. Then if you see all the interviews when they talk about the film, they said it's a dark film. It has a lot of violence. The film is about a messed up character. The title of the film is Animal. There's a reason for that. You cannot expect everything to be spoon-fed to everyone. Okay, whenever someone is smoking in a film, a tag comes, right? Smoking is injurious to health, don't do it, don't do it. And most people hate that. Before the movie starts, there's a whole ad which is disgusting, but they do it and there's so many people complain about it. But when a certain film like this comes out, you want in every scene to disclaimer to show up that don't follow this guy is wrong, don't do what he's doing, don't get inspired by him. Is that what you want? Then the argument is the way the film is showing this character doing wrong things, with so much good BGM and cool movements, it making it look cool that people will get influenced. They want to do it because it looks cool. That's not an argument at all. I'm sorry, but you cannot dictate the filmmaker that shows scenes the way I want. This film is a tragic story. The protagonist doesn't get what he wants by the end of the film. He's a loser, he's broken, he has lost it. The film doesn't give any indication that be like this guy and you'll be successful, that follow this guy. The film is actually showing the breakdown of this character. And making things look cool and using great music has been happening in films for so long. These are tools used to give emphasis to what the character is doing. Maybe the character thinks what he's doing is so cool, the great music is playing with him. Now, one very interesting thing I came across, about the alpha man thing in Animal, what Nasiruddin Shah said in the interview. Men today are insecure. That is such an interesting view. And we have seen the rise of hyper masculine films and them doing really well at the box office because they are well made. Where the hero is a male who's strong, who's a savior. He's mard ko dard nahi hota. And it's resonating because men today, if you understand the world, are in existential crisis. Something the movie Barbie also showcases. They don't know who they are supposed to be. We live in a patriarchal world where men dominate. It's not a secret. Or I should say men have been dominating. And when you are living in a man's world, as a dialogue in Animal says, being a man gives you a certain power, which you don't realize, but you have it. And if you're getting power without doing anything, just you exist and because of that you have a power, why would you let it go? Why wouldn't you use it? Now the old learning of being a man is that you are head of the family, you are the leader. Everyone will look to you, you are responsible for everyone, you have to save them. The alpha male ideology. But in the new way, you don't need to be all that just because you are a man. You can be yourself. You don't need to be the head of the family. You don't need to be the only breadwinner in the family. You're not the sole savior. Just because you are a man, you will not get that power. The world doesn't revolve around you and you have to live with equality. The women are not there just to support you. And with the change happening in the world, many are adopting the new way. But many also want to hold on the old ways because of course they're losing power. And then comes the middle section, which are confused. Now here comes the animal movie, where Sandeep Reddy Vanga, using the character of Ranbir Kapoor, shows this idea of the old ways. Not through the actions. The actions are, everyone is like wrong. Killing people is not the great thing. But the idea behind those actions. That why is he doing that? To protect his family. If someone even lays a finger, I'll burn the whole world. Duniya jala denge. Someone tease my sister, I will take a gun and show you. It's not about the gun. It's about the idea that if you do anything, forget my sister, any woman, you will have that rage inside you that it will destroy that guy. Recently, Dhruv Rathi made a video about animal and he talked about the Nirbhaya case. And just hearing that word fills me with anger. Hearing the people who did that heinous crime justified it. You want to become that animal because that fills you up with rage. These are ideas which are fantasy for many, and they are resonating with the film because those fantasies are getting played out. That is satisfying them. The camaraderie between the brothers, they are a whole gang, no one can touch them. That's a fantasy for many. You have to go through me to even touch my family. You will go against the whole world to protect them. That's a fantasy. And people are getting to live that through this film, which they know they cannot in real life. And isn't that what cinema does? There are so many films giving you different experiences of romance, of war, of action. Most probably you will not get to fly a fighter jet, but seeing that happen in Top Gun makes you excited, makes you live that fantasy. It's the same thing. That's what Sandeep did through this narrative. Over that, the film is very edgy. It is not a politically correct film, and these things are considered cool nowadays. It's a trend. Many are appreciating the film and Sandeep Reddy Vanga for going against the normal. How even after getting so much criticism, he didn't back down and totally invested in what he believes in and made a film what he wanted to without compromise. The thing is, if this core wasn't present and everything was just superficial, the film wouldn't have worked the way it has. And all the controversies have just pushed it more. Now the debate of is this right or wrong, that will depend on your own morals. Will the film give rise to that old thinking? Maybe. Quite possible. But to question its existence, that's where you draw the line. Now, whatever my personal beliefs are, I use this opportunity to break down the film to explain what's really happening. You can do the same. But now what will happen in the film industry, they will see the success and try to replicate it, and will get a lot of cheap knockoffs, which most of them will not understand what the film is actually doing. They'll only see the surface level stuff, get a male toxic alpha hero, violence, sex, yeah, good music, done, package it and sell it again, which I'm sure will not work. Because today people understand cinema, and in this video I talked about how this Tamil film explained the power of cinema. A film you should definitely check out. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.